Hey guys, I am just jumping on here to explain an assignment that I think popped up today for you, but when you get to it, if you go to your teams, you should be sharing this already hopefully, you'll see a few new things have popped up. I today did predicting future weather students, and then I realize there's a typo, but if you click on climate zone sort, this is supposed to be for Tuesday, so that should be December 14th if you're seeing this at a different time. So there is a little video to watch with it. It's called Weather versus Climate, and I think it really helps explain the thinking a little more with this. After you watch this on your own, because I know it gets glitchy on my end sometimes, click on Copy of Sort Climate Zone PowerPoint. So I'm going to open it in, let's see if I can do PowerPoint online, see how that works for us. Hopefully okay. You never know. So what this was, oops, I should probably delete that. That link didn't work for it. So if I click this and drag it, I can make it a little bigger to read it, hopefully a little easier. If not, you guys kind of know how to use the Zoom buttons. I'm going to read this to you. What it is talking about the different climate zones in the world. We talked about weather being something that changes every day. You never know what it's going to be, and it kind of depends on different things like temperature, cloud cover, all that good stuff. Climate is over a period of time. So if you can see, there are two slides here on the left-hand side describing different zones. So there's like an overview right here explaining what a climate and climate zones are. Then there's a paragraph about polar climate, temperate climate. Let's see, for page 2, there's Mediterranean climate, desert climate, and tropical climate. So that's just to give you a heads up that for the sorting part that comes here at the end where you're going to have to click and sort. What I'm going to do is start reading this to you. Skip ahead if you prefer to read it on your own, but here goes. If you visited the South Pole, would you expect to see a giraffe munching leaves from an acacia tree? Or if you were wandering through the Amazon rainforest, would you expect to see polar bears hunting walruses? No. Organisms are adapted to live in different habitats around the world. How can you tell whether an organism will be able to live in a certain place? It all depends on the climate. Climate is the average weather of a place over a long period of time. Depending on the climate, different organisms live in different types of habitats. Each type of habitat is found in a climate zone. Climate zones are how the regions of Earth are divided based on the climate found there. So there is the polar climate zone. The polar climate zone experiences cold and dry weather year-round. With long, dark winters, weather is below freezing for most of the year. Parts of the polar climate zone have temperatures that never get above freezing. Woo, can you imagine? There are only 2 seasons of the year in this zone, winter and summer. Winters are below freezing. In the middle of winter, the sun never rises. Summers are cool and wet. In the middle of summer, the sun never sets. So they have 2 times in the year where one, the sun doesn't come up ever, and one where the sun doesn't go down ever. And that's just their placement on the Earth is the reasoning for that. Temperate climate zones. The temperate climate zone has 4 changing seasons: winter, spring, summer, and autumn or fall. As the second wettest climate zone, there is precipitation in the form of rain, sleet, or snow all year long. Summers are warm or hot, and days are often longer than nights in the summer. Winters are cold in the temperate climate zone. Nights are usually longer than days in winter, and some places in the temperate climate zone have snow in winter with below freezing temperatures. So I would argue that maybe where we're at in Washington, sometimes we fall in this zone a little bit, but let's see if there's a little more. So this is slide 2, Mediterranean climate zone. The Mediterranean climate zone is known to have 2 seasons. It has cool, rainy winters and hot, dry summers. Since almost all of the rain for this climate zone comes in the winter season, wildfires and droughts are common. Places in this climate zone are often found on the western side of the continent, near the oceans. So that sounds similar to ours, a little bit. Desert climate zone. The desert climate zone is where water is in very short supply. In this zone, it is hot all year and rain is limited. With the high heat all year, there are no seasons. In this climate zone, the pressure stays high, which causes clear, cloudless skies. Without these clouds to keep heat in after dark, nighttime temperatures can drop to below freezing. So a lot of people think desert is hot all the time, but it's not. It's hot during a long day, and then at night can be very, very cold. Tropical climate zone. Hot temperatures and heavy rain cause this tropical climate zone to be the wettest climate zone on the planet. There is only one season in the tropical climate zone. Some places in the zone have rain all year, while some parts of the tropical climate zone have a few dry months every year. Air pressure remains relatively low, causing cloudy skies. This cloud cover helps keep in heat during the nighttime hours. Therefore, temperatures stay steady between day and night. With all the rain this climate zone receives, there is high humidity. So unlike the desert zone, they do have a lot of rain, and so that's what holds in that warm temperature at night rather than getting freezing like it does in the desert. So that was slide 2. And then I might have to zoom out a little bit to show you guys this. There are the zones that we talked about. We have polar, temperate, Mediterranean, desert, and tropical. And what you're going to do is look at these different cards and figure out where you should put them. You don't necessarily have to know where they're at on the map, but comparing their traits they describe, where should they fit? So Turkey, found in the Middle East, has mostly hot, dry summers and cool to cold and wet winters. Almost all the rain is in the winter. Ooh, I remember them talking about something like that, where it only had 2 seasons. There was the hot season and the cold season. You're gonna have to take a look at that. There's in Northern Africa, Libya has a very hot and dry climate. Most of the country has less than 2 inches of water per year. So only hot and dry, very little rain. Sounds familiar. In South America, central Chile has hot, dry summers. It receives most of its rain in the winters, which are mild and cool, but rarely cold. So it seems like really hot and dry, rain in the winters. Ooh, that sounds like one we read just a minute ago. But their winters don't get very cold, just cool. Let's see. Germany is a European country with cold, rainy winters. Summers are mild to warm, and rainstorms are common. So they can get a little bit of precipitation. It seems like a lot of it comes in the wintertime. They don't get too hot, and it doesn't look like they get too cold. So kind of in the middle. Near Australia, New Zealand has a cool, rainy climate. There is rain every month, and summers are warm but not hot, and winters can be freezing. So they get warm, but it doesn't get too hot, but the winters are very, very cold, and lots of rain. Where should that fall? Belarus is a European country with hot summers, cold winters, and rain all year long. So not all the rain is coming during the winter time, so that is a big hint for what we were reading. Don't forget, guys, these kind of get layered on top of each other because we don't want to just stick them on top of everything, so I might just lay them out like this. Most of Italy in Europe is hot and dry in the summer. The winters are cool, but not freezing. Almost all the rain is in the winter. Remember, there was one that specifically said when all the precipitation comes in wintertime. Colombia is a South American country that is hot and humid, which means lots of water droplets in the air, with heavy rainfall all year long. So, rain all year, not just in winter. Most of the African country of Chad is hot and dry year-round. It receives very little rain and only in July and August, which, by the way, is their winter time. So remember the one that said that. The northern part of Canada is under permafrost ice. Summers never get above 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and winters are long, dark, and below freezing. So 50 degrees is about what it is right now. And their summers never get warmer than that. So, some place where it stays very cold all year round. Greenland is large, and most of the country is under permanent ice. Summers never get above 50 degrees. Ooh, that sounds like one I just read. Nigeria is an African nation that has heavy rain all year. Temperatures are steady throughout the year. So, rainy, doesn't fluctuate a lot. That one sounds familiar too. The Middle Eastern country of Iraq receives little rain. Summers can get over 104 degrees, while winters rarely get below 40 degrees. So it gets pretty warm, but it doesn't get very cold. Paraguay is a South American country that is known for brisk winds. The climate is hot and rainy all year long. That sounds familiar. The European country of Ireland has rain or snow every month of the year. Winter is cold or freezing, and summer days are warm but rarely hot. So guys, this is not the correct answer for these things. I just wanted to make sure that I've read each of them to you, and your job is to sort them in the correct column. So polar, temperate, Mediterranean, desert, and tropical. And I believe, by the way, here's a hint, temperate had the longest column, so more cards were able to fit into there. So that's a hint that a lot of them will be temperate. So that is how you do that assignment. If you guys end up having any questions, you know what to do. Send me a message on Teams or Dojo, and I will help you as soon as I can. All right, thanks. Bye.